Hi guys, welcome back to another video where today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing 3 more Timemicro models. If you do enjoy this sort of content, make sure to smash that like button and also subscribe if you are new, as it really does help the channel out and it is greatly appreciated. But with that being said, let's jump straight into the first model, which is this HKS Nissan GTR R34. As you can see, obviously coming in the standard Timemicro packaging with the Timemicro logos, but this one does not come with a figure, unfortunately, as you will see. But there is other models in the video that do come with a figure, so make sure to stick around for that. As you can see, this model does come on the more premium style base with that leather material, still having the plastic, not the acrylic full base, so not giving that really heavy feel, but you can still see it does look nice and premium with that leather effect. You can also see the model is numbered and it does have the metal plaque with the Nissan GTR on the front. But the actual model itself is really good. Now, Timemicro do the R34 very nicely, and they have quite a few variations of this car. They have different ones with different body kits, different wheels, and obviously different features with different figures, etc., which you will be able to check out on the channel. But back to the model itself, you'll know I am a huge fan of Timemicro models. They do some very solid castings, and this is definitely one of them. You can see the wheels are very nicely detailed, and they even have the brake disc behind them, and you can see all the decals nice and clearly, including the window banner, which is nice and clear to read. You can see the fitment on the bonnet, obviously the bonnets do open, and the fitment is really good as well. You can slightly see a little bit of a gap, but it's nothing major. Now, all these models do also come with a bonnet stay as well, which is something I didn't actually realise on some of the older models that I have unboxed. Is they have had bonnet stays, I've just not managed to find them, which is a little bit unfortunate, but a quite cool feature is the fact they are built actually into the engine bay, so you actually do have to use the actual bonnet stay an engine would use. It's not just an extra piece, which personally I think is very cool. Now, you might have seen when I closed the bonnet, just the bonnet didn't fully stay down. Now, that it can be an issue caused by the bonnet stay if it isn't sat properly in the engine bay. Now, a lot of people think this is a fitment issue, but it's not. You just have to move the bonnet stay, as it is quite a fragile piece and it does tend to move side to side, being such a thin metal rod. But nonetheless, it's very cool. There does even include one to keep the bonnet up and even add to the realism. Personally, I do really like the Timemicro R34s. I think the detail is very good, and overall they are some of the better R34s out there on the market. Now, that brings us on to the second model of the video, which is a model that ever since its announcement I've been waiting to get my hands on, and you'll definitely see why. You can see on the back of the packaging, this one does say officially licensed product by LBWK, so let me know in the comments if you do know any more about that. But as I did say with the R34, this model does also come with a figure, and a very detailed one at that. You can see it's got the toolkit around her waist, it's also got the LBWK logo on both sides of the leg, and also a spanner in her hands, which is very cool. You can see this LBWK S15 does come on the more acrylic style base, obviously not the material like the R34 with the leather base, but you can see it does come on the proper heavy acrylic base, which again just adds another level of premium feel to this model. Obviously, this model has been done by Mini GT. Now, Mini GT did an absolutely incredible job with this model, and you will notice some slight differences, obviously with the actual decals on the model itself, because Mini GT do have their logo on the car in real life, and obviously these won't like to put another competitor's brands on their car, so this model is missing those decals. But nevertheless, I was super excited to check this model out, as obviously as good as Mini GT are, Timemicro do have the opening bonnet and also the figure that they do come with, so I was super excited to see what Timemicro done with this model, and let me tell you, they did not disappoint. Obviously you can see all the decals super clear, and the wheels do roll, also with the brake discs behind them, and it's got a very nicely detailed interior with the red bucket seats and the yellow roll cage to match the decals on the model as well. Obviously this model does also have the opening hood feature or opening bonnet, which in my opinion is very cool, and obviously is what made this model stand out to me in the first place. You can see that really detailed engine, and also the bonnet stay as well, which, like I mentioned, is built into the engine. As you can see, it is black like the actual engine bay, which again is really cool, but it is quite awkward to actually find the piece. Now, one little quality control issue I did have with this is the bonnet is quite loose, and as soon as the bonnet stay is removed, as you see there, it does drop fairly instantly, and it has got a little bit of movement and also a little bit of a bonnet gap as well. You can see it does move a little bit side to side, nothing major, but again, it's just something like that which could be sorted. But nonetheless, you can see overall this model is very well done. The paint application and the way it sits is very cool, and also the decals, like I say, are super clear. Obviously it's not identical to the real model, as obviously there are some decals that are missing the Mini GT logo and stuff like that, but again, obviously you do kind of expect that to happen. You can see it's got that really nicely detailed engine bay with a nice bright yellow engine cover, which really does make this model stand out. And it does also come with the nice detailed figure, which as you can see looks really good stood next to the model. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But this now brings us on to our third and final model of the video, which is this HKS RWB Porsche. Now, I was super excited to check this model out, as this model is actually a collab and is a fairly older release from Timemicro. Now, as you can see, the packaging already is really cool, and it does come with that HKS design, a little bit different to your standard packaging from Timemicro now, with just the plain colour or the plain black box. But you can see the actual casting is very cool, and on the base you can see that it does say Aurora Models and Timemicro, so you can see that it is a collab there, with the number and obviously the HKS in the middle, obviously being the RWB HKS livery. You can definitely see where the Aurora model does come in, as obviously this is the flat grey or the matte grey finish for the HKS livery, which Aurora models have done quite a few variants of. But you can also see a little bit of the placement of the decals. Now again, that is only because the decals are a little bit glossy on a matte finish, so you can kind of see where the edges are. Not the end of the world, but it is something that I wish the brands did look into when doing these matte cars. But besides that, you can see all the decals are super easy to read, especially being on that matte finish. It just makes them pop a little bit more, so I do understand it, but at the same time you can still see a little bit of the placement. But nonetheless, the actual model is really good. You can see the wheels don't turn, but there is a brake disc hiding behind them. You can also see it has got the window sticker and the tow hook at the front. Obviously all the decals are placed super well, and the only thing with them, like I say, is the little edges of them, but again, that's not a real big deal. You can see the decals on the wing plates as well, and also on the rear window, and also there is the mirror decal on the wing mirrors, which again is just really good attention to detail. Obviously having the Porsche badge up front and the really detailed headlights and tail lights, I just think this model is a really cool addition to anybody's collection, especially if you do like your RWB models, as this one is very good for the price. But with that being said, let me know what your favourite was in the comments down below, and also let me know why, as I really do like to know which one of these is your favourite models out of the videos. But thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.